So let's go back to Resident Evil 7. I think, talked about this game far too much. I talked about I was super excited for what they're going to show at E3, and then I got this. And then there was the first demo, and then the second demo. Well, it's basically the same demo, but they keep updating it. This is the third demo. And there's a point here, but why? Capcom is really what I'm trying to say. Why would you release a demo over 6 months? I can't imagine releasing the demo basically 3 times, only the last time being indicative of the final product, is helpful to you. I don't understand that at all. I don't get it. I'd like to know just what they're thinking there. There's some really weird stuff about it. I really don't. So what they finally add in this is actual gameplay. They give you an enemy to fight. There's stuff to see. Well, when the game lets you see, because it's so goddamn dark. There's kind of some puzzly stuff, like, oh, there's this toilet, and I need a valve to put in this thing so I can flush the toilet and turn the water, like simple Resident Evil style puzzles. And there's some really cool stuff that you see by looking at the world and like going, oh, this drawer, I can open this drawer, what's in it? Or there's stuff hidden under the stairs, but you won't notice that unless you're looking down and trying to find it. It really does use the first person perspective to great ability overall. But that being said, I do question their methods, because there's some things that happen here. Basically, you'll go back into that, once I finally get there, you'll go back down to the basement and kind of trigger an encounter with this monster. At no point do you realize you need to run away from this monster, right? It doesn't tell you that, and how would it? How could it, right? But you need to run away from it. You need to run away from this monster. And you're armed only with an axe to fight this creature. And so you turn around, and there's a really cool moment where if you turn around, you'll realize that the guy has like locked you in the room, and he kind of smiles, and that's a great moment. What you won't realize is that you need to kick the door twice in order to get out. Okay? And I've heard kind of conflicting reports that defeating this monster isn't possible, but it is possible, but it's really difficult. I know I fought it several times. And at one point I chopped off its arm, and that was really cool. It still didn't die, and it can kill you in 3 hits. And this becomes the problem. Well, there's 2 problems here. One, there's no checkpoints in this demo. Now, that might not be a problem to you, right? There's no checkpoints, who cares? It's only a 5-10 minute thing anyway. Why do you need a checkpoint? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you die against this monster, and you would like to see the ending to this demo, you have to do everything again. And it's the same order every time. It's not suspenseful the second time, or the third time, or the 4th time. There's no reason to not put a checkpoint at the top of the stairs, just so I can see your goddamn game, right? You're trying to sell me on this, and frustrating me by killing me in a situation that is difficult, and forcing me to redo steps that I already know over and over again isn't helping your cause. The other, perhaps larger problem, really, because maybe I'm just bad at it, is I'm not just bad at it. The combat is bad. In terms of, you have an axe, right? You're swinging this axe. It is so difficult to judge if the enemy is super close to me, I can hit it, or if I'm too far away. It's almost impossible for me to judge reliably if it's too close or too far away. And the same goes if it can hit me. But it's inverse of what you'd think. You'd think that the game would be lenient and let me hit things that are kind of further away than maybe it seems. And you'd think that maybe the enemy, oh, I got away with that one. It seemed like it could hit me, but maybe I'm far enough away. No, it's the inverse of that. This enemy's halfway across the fucking room, it feels like, which is so claustrophobic It's hard to get away from this super fast thing. It rears up its dumb arms. You're trying to back away. It hits you from across the room. And again, 3 hits, you're dead. Okay? And you're trying to swing at it. The axe is hitting into doors, which is fine. That's a mechanic. Okay, I understand. But I'm also whiffing, missing this thing entirely several times, over and over and over. The first-person combat is not very well done. I remember playing Condemned. That worked well. This does not work well. At no point fighting this with an axe did I feel like I could reliably hit it with the axe. And I'm standing literally right next to it. I'm like swinging the axe at it. It's insane. Why was that so difficult for them to get right? And then they give you this gun. If you get past that by figuring out, which I didn't figure out, I had to Google it. Oh, well, I wasn't Googling that specifically. I was Googling a walkthrough and overall. But the only way to get out of there is to turn around and knock on the door twice. But you don't get the button prompt to knock on the door unless you're like fucking balls to the wall inside dry humping the door. So you don't know that that's there as an option. You don't know you need to run. And you can't even run because there's no dodge move. There's no like pivot out of the way, juke move like you're a football player. There's none of that. So you're just kind of running around and you have to turn around to see where it is. Keep turning around to see where it is because I don't know where the fuck it is now. And it's impossibly dark, this game. The entire thing. I ended up turning up the brightness a little just so I could see. It's not even that it was like, it's so scary because it's so dark. No, it's just I can't see anything. The entire game is in this weird periscope, like in a goddamn submarine. And so you can't see in the corners. And everything is so dark. I don't understand it. It's so goddamn dark. And the combat doesn't work right. That's what I was getting to. They give you, after you escape, the impossible thing to know you're supposed to escape from in a way that's ridiculous. After you escape, you get a gun, right? There's nothing to use the gun on. It's just to see that there's a gun in the game. I guess I could go back and fight the monster, but reports are inconclusive. There's nothing down there. And the monster, it just kind of dies and goes away from what I understand. So I don't really understand what we're getting at here. There's some really cool ideas. Turning around, when I saw that guy there, I tried to go back through the door and it opens up and it has him like, that's a super cool moment, right? That was amazing. When the monster comes out, oh my gosh, this is scary. And then I die and I have to redo the entire demo again. And I keep trying to fight him, but the axe is missing him and I feel like it shouldn't be missing him. The monster's coming up in like a minute here. And you have to know to turn around and to kick the door twice. Like, I never would have figured out how to do that. There's a sandbag too in this, not sandbag, sorry. It's a body bag with a human dead person in it, in this room, right? And here they are, here are the bodies. Great ambiance, right? There's one of these bags you can kick it into the monster. But if the monster is doing its animation, it doesn't necessarily work. If it is too far away, but it seems like it isn't too far away, it doesn't hit it either. So there's some really funky shit going on with that just doesn't work for me. Like you could kick it at it, and I did it once or twice where I successfully kicked the body bag at the monster and like knocked it down, and that allows you time to knock on the door a little bit to push it out of the way. But it was so finicky. Like if you're gonna put a mechanic like that, this needs to work. Like if I have it lined up with the monster, I don't care if it's charging me like crazy or kind of off to the side, it needs to hit it. If its geometry is about to hit it, it needs to hit it. And it felt like it was routinely, the game felt like it was routinely fucking me over with weird hitboxes because of the first person view. It just didn't add up. It didn't line up and it didn't feel right. The mechanics of it just did not feel right at all. Here's the monster. It's got a great moment here. I'm like, la-di-da-di-dee. La-di, oh shit. Like, son of a bitch, there's a monster here. And people are saying that this game looks really good. I think it does in a lot of parts, but there's a lot of parts I don't agree with at all. Like, I got lucky there. I don't even know, and it's like kind of flailing around. I'm hitting the wall. the first encounter here I did pretty well. But like that, I missed him. Did you see that? I missed him. How? The axe like would have sliced his arm off. I'm fighting him again. He does that. Like, there's nothing to do. I can't juke out to the side. You're so slow. The only thing I can do is kind of like run in front of things. I'm dead. Okay. All right. I'm dead now. It's great. Let's see if I can't skip to the next time I fight him to kind of show. It's so goddamn dark. I don't even get to see it. I think this is it. I'm getting eaten. You can't see anything. Oh, I'm trying to kick this into it. Like, oh, that didn't hit it. Oh, that didn't hit it. Okay. Somehow I have to let it die installed. I mean, insane to me. Just doesn't work right. I'm swinging. Oh, that missed. Did you see that where I missed? That missed. What? What's happening? Can we have some consistency here? Making me thirsty. Ridiculous. Look at how many times I'm hitting it. I understand you're supposed to run away, which is something I didn't realize yet. And I got stuck behind it, like I couldn't run away. And you just hit and die. There's no health bar. There's no way to know anything. While I like the idea that they're showing gameplay and what the actual gameplay of the game will be, I think it's so irresponsible to have something like this that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit right. Is this as an advertisement to a huge Resident Evil fan? I love every single game in the mainline series. Every single one. Even 6, even 5, both Revelation. I love all of them except for Code Veronica. All of them. And you can't get me? You can't get me with this demo? Like, I don't understand. There's just so many weird choices with how they've been marketing this that doesn't add up to me. And I was hoping this would be the reveal of gameplay that finally convinces me. And it is the reveal of gameplay. But it just left me feeling like, I don't know if this is quite right. And I haven't even brought up the fact that the horror used here isn't Resident Evil horror. Like, I just played through Resident Evil 1 again in October. This is not a return to form. This is an entirely different style of horror. That at no point in Resident Evil 1 do you feel so claustrophobic and just full of dread. And maybe that's good. Maybe it's finally a horror game. Okay. But this is a horror game. I feel like more than survival horror. And it definitely is scary if that's what you're looking for. Woof. It's scary, but it was relying on a lot of weird gimmicks, and I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I like the idea of a monster guy constantly hunting you the entire time. It kind of sounds exhausting, not in a fun way. Like, Nemesis was always hunting you, but it wasn't breathing down your neck the entire time. It was more these designed points. You just didn't know when it was going to happen. And I have to look over my shoulder. Like, there was a lot of safe rooms, in addition to the actual safe rooms, in Resident Evil. This is when I try to leave. It's a good moment. There's a lot of safe rooms in Resident Evil 1, in particular, where you're just kind of walking around, and there's some birds. And you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm safe or not, but I think I'm safe. I'm pretty good here. And if something happened to you, it wasn't you're trapped in a room, generally. At least not in a demo. I don't buy it. Look at how many times I missed him there. This is how I have to run away. I'm going to miss him again with his bag, too. No, gotta run. And he can kill the bag. He can destroy the body bag. He just did. He just did, yeah. Running around in circles, trying to hit him. I didn't hit him there. You can't even see anything. Like, okay, he died. I can't fucking see or do anything. You're so slow. There's no dodge move. I missed him. Okay, I missed him. Now I gotta run away. Like, I guess I run away and I can't see him because I have to run, but I can't run at him to see him. So, he's gonna hit me. Oh, see? And then he missed. Like, everything doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think that's pretty clear. I'm also dead. You know? And that's... Did I die again? What's this? Oh, that's the demo. Or the video. The demo. Oh, I looked up how to do it. So you have to kick the door. And there's two endings if you get hit once, or if you don't get hit at all. So you have to kick the door twice, which fucking sucks, and isn't very clear. See, I kicked it at him, but it's too far away, and then he runs at me. It's such a disaster. I really don't like it. Then you break out the door so you can finally leave. Okay, I run away. And then you do your little puzzle. It's happening. You're going to the thing. Oh, let's do the puzzle. Okay, turn the crank. Flush the toilet. The monster doesn't come back after you. Then you get the gun. And some heroin needles. If you wanted some of those in the toilet. Cool. Now there's a gun. I don't know if the gunplay is good. This demo should have been a giant opportunity to assure everyone that the combat was there, for one, and for two, meaningful and good and interesting and more of a way than this. That just showed me, like, I don't think this is good. I don't want to fight anything in this. But it seems like you're going to make me want to fight. And from those previews that people played the game for 4 hours, it sounds like there are going to be many sections where you have to fight things. And if the combat is all kind of like that, again, huge Resident Evil fan. Don't understand this. Don't understand it at all. This is not Resident Evil in tone or anything. This is the end of it. You end up like dying and whatever. Who cares? This is the show every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Twitch.tv/TheGameFanatics. I stream Mario Maker on my own channel, Twitch.tv/BenReacts, Saturday, Sunday, and starting a Wednesday stream of random junk. Probably doing, I don't know, Titanfall 2? Last Guardian? Let It Die? Maybe I'll play Let It Die. Starting a Wednesday during the day stream of shenanigans. Not Resident Evil. Good God. Never again. Never again. Nope. Well, I probably will end up playing the game. You know, it's inevitable. It really is. The terror continues. Purchase now. Infected ending. Great. I'm so fucking excited.